So it's lunchtime now. If you're at work or if you were at work, would you be considering going out for a swift pint during your lunch break? Well, some of the employees at one of Britain's oldest financial institutions are angry after they were told they can't drink alcohol during office hours. Lloyds of London has introduced a ban on drinking alcohol between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and anyone caught boozing during this time could face the sack for gross misconduct. So is it okay to drink at lunchtime? I'm joined now in the studio by Jenny Garrett. She's executive career coach and a working mother. And from central London, we've got Kevin Craig, who's one of the UK's leading public relations and crisis managing experts. And thank you both so much for joining us this lunchtime, for putting down your pint if you were going to drink. Jenny, first of all, how do you feel about this? Somebody facing the sack if they go out and grab a glass of wine during their lunch break?
I think they're moving with the times, actually, Lloyds are, because I think the problem with the UK is that people do drink to excess. And I, many years ago, worked in organisations where sometimes people had a fight at lunchtime, a little brawl, and then came back into the office. And also people get a bit handsy when they have a bit too much to drink. So I don't think it's a good thing. So I think I welcome it. Yeah.
A bit handsy. I mean, Kevin, what are your thoughts on that then? And I think Jenny's quite right. People do change, behave a little bit differently after having a drink. It could affect their work and how they perform. What are your thoughts?
Well, Jenny's right, and Lloyds are catching up with the times, and they are following a trend in business, actually, that over the last 20 years it's become very, at the high levels of business, very unacceptable to drink during the day. You're often, if you're doing meetings at CEO level or you're taking part in any form of transaction, it can be often frowned upon to be smelling of booze in any way around the boardroom table. But the interesting thing about this story is the particular and distinct nature of the insurance market in London, where Lloyds, over nigh on 400 years, has created a culture where it allows its top people to get on with it and make the magic happen in terms of the insurance game. And that's why this decision, they're going to have a bit of local difficulty, I think, in implementing it, because I don't think they consulted. And even though it makes total sense in the direction of travel of business these days, where booze is on the way out in the daytime, I think they're going to have a bit of trouble in the ranks, because lastly, in that building in London, you've got several thousand people and only a small fraction will be affected by the ban, so you're going to have a bit of a them and us going on.
I mean, Jenny, how would you feel if your employer told you that you can't drink? So if maybe you're going out taking a client to lunch and your client's going to want to drink and you might want to drink to join them, so you know you can feel sociable, you can hopefully build a better relationship with them. How would you feel coming back to work and you could face the sack for that? Because a lot of employees at Lloyds of London have just have acted very angrily, just saying, look, shouldn't you be focusing on more important things in the workplace rather than this?
Yeah, I do think there should be exceptions to every rule. If there's a special occasion, if there's a certain kind of lunch or a certain kind of meeting, then I think there should be something where you could say to your manager, I think drink's going to be part of this. Would it be okay if I had 2 glasses of wine or a glass of beer? And I think that, any good manager will use their discretion. So I'm hoping that that will be a possibility. But I must say, to be honest, productivity goes down once you've had a drink. And years ago, I worked in an estate agency business, and on a Friday, one of the advertisers would bring us 2 bottles of Rioja. Nothing would get done for the rest of the afternoon. So I think in the long run, there'll be better productivity. It will work best for the organisation.
I mean, Kevin, controlling how much members of staff drinking, you can understand why an employer would want to do that, but yet at the same time, are people really drinking to excess right now? Is this something that they needed to instigate in the first place? Because as a journalist, stories on Fleet Street of journalists going out drinking in the pub was actually quite legendary. So when I started working, I thought, right, where's the bar, where's the pub? When I came here, nobody drinks. Anywhere I've worked, no one goes out drinking to the excess that I had heard of. Not many people are doing that anymore. So why bring about this rule in the first place?
You're right that it's less common than it used to be, and a bit like you, I feel I missed the boat for the best days of daytime drinking. But in the city of London, there is still a lot of alcohol consumed, and around the insurance market, we have a lot of people coming into London from places like Hong Kong, Singapore, the United States. They're when business is being transacted there, the culture is very different to us. But here, it's expected and it's allowed and it's assumed by foreign people to London that there is going to be booze in the daytime. And it does still happen a lot in and around the city, and in particular in the insurance market. So that's where the challenge is going to come. Overall, I absolutely agree. The direction of travel is away from daytime drinking. Productivities go down. There are more lawsuits. There are more HR cases for all the great reasons that Jenny said. So the direction of travel is that we've missed it. The AdFab days are gone in all sectors, but very specifically, I would watch the unfolding of the Lloyds story because of the particular nature of the broking and insurance market in our country at this particular time where it's under a lot of scrutiny because of Brexit and the challenges that are going to be coming.
Kevin's making a really good point there. It's actually quite shocking to think that so many city workers, this is the centre of financial institutions, go out drinking so often.
Yeah, I think so, but I also think there are more women in the workplace and more women now getting to more senior roles. And typically this is lads' culture, boys' culture. And actually, as we evolve and have a much more equal workplace, this was going to go anyway. So I think it's a really positive sign about where London wants to go, and London can lead the way. So what if people want something? We can say, actually, we've changed to be like this. Maybe this is something different now, and you can go out in the evening. No one's saying never drink again. So
no, you're right. This is something already being rolled out in other European countries like France and Germany. Do you think other companies could be following suit here? More companies? I mean, would you do it if with your company, if you had members of staff working with you? Would you say, actually, you know, in my place, no one goes out for drinking until after 5 o'clock?
I think I would, apart from special occasions. So I would say, if it's your birthday, if it's a Christmas meal, you know, actually, you know, we can have a couple of glasses of wine. But I would say, let's limit it. Let's not go crazy.
Kevin, what about you in your company? Is this something you would introduce?
I would have a lot of difficulty. We work in the creative industry space, if you like, and I think I'd have a lot of difficulty introducing a
Come on,
no
Kevin,
booze
you were
ban
just saying this is
between
a
9 and
great
5.
move. Other companies should lead the way. This is something leading the way. This is something that should be rolled out in London, but you couldn't do it within your company?
Yeah, but you see, with respect, I've had a lot fewer legal and employment cases than many of those in the City of London due to misbehaviour in recent years. So I think the imperative to act is less pressing in my case. But I think as a general rule, it's a very good thing. And I just think that we don't have as many issues, touch wood, so far.
OK, Kevin, Lloyds of London can do it, but not in your backyard. All right, thanks so much, Kevin Gray. Really good talking to you. And Jenny, Garrett, thank you too. Thank you both.